You close the door, turn the key twice in the lock, and head off to work. But on the other side of that door, a tiny, furry philosopher remains. At that moment, a heartbreaking image often flickers in our minds. Luna or Oliver sitting by the threshold for the next 8 or 10 hours, sighing deeply at the injustice of it all. We imagine them frozen in apathy by the window or staring mournfully at the door handle. That familiar pang of guilt kicks in, and suddenly you're scrolling through adoption pages, thinking it's time to find a friend for your cat, so they aren't so unbearably lonely in these 4 walls. But what if I told you that feline solitude looks nothing like our own? Today, let's set aside our human habit of projecting our emotions onto our pets and try to look at the world through the eyes of the cat. Do they actually get lonely? And is a second pet really that universal recipe for happiness we've been led to believe? Hello, fellow cat lovers. I'm so glad you've joined me today to talk about what truly matters to our whiskered companions. The topic of loneliness is one of the most mythologized in the feline world. We often confuse a cat's biological needs with our own complex social emotions. But understanding how a cat's social life is actually wired isn't just a fun fact. It's the key to their psychological and physical health. Today, we're going to dive deep into what exactly your cat misses when you're gone, how to tell if they're truly lacking stimulation, and how to make the right decision about expanding your fur family. I promise by the end of our conversation that leaving for work guilt will settle down and your bond with your cat will feel much more grounded in reality. To understand what a cat feels in an empty house, we need to take a quick trip back in time. You see, cats are not small dogs. Dogs are pack animals. Their ancestors survived by staying in groups where being separated from the leader was a survival catastrophe. For a dog, your absence is a broken social connection. Cats, however, are descended from the African wildcat, a self-sufficient, solitary hunter. For a cat, territory isn't just a place to play. It's their fortress, their primary resource. A cat doesn't feel incomplete just because no one is sitting next to them. When you leave, their first thought isn't, "I've been abandoned forever," but rather, "The territory is now entirely under my command." This isn't a lack of love for you. It's the beauty of their biological autonomy. But does that mean they don't care at all? Not quite. A cat rarely pines for your image or your scent the way a human child might miss a parent. For your pet, you function as something much more sacred, a sort of chief resource officer. You are the one who refills the bowls, scoops the litter, provides the warmth, and, crucially, organizes the entertainment. When you vanish for 10 hours, the cat doesn't necessarily notice the absence of a conversation partner, but they do notice the absence of activity and stability. For a creature whose world is built on rituals, your departure is a pause in the daily broadcast of their life. If they're used to a play session before breakfast and you suddenly change the schedule, that's when the cat feels discomfort. It's not deep existential grief. It's more like the frustration of a broken routine. Let's look closer at how our cats greet us, and it's truly an art form, isn't it? Some cats give a lazy stretch in the hallway, while others put on a full vocal performance. These dialogues, also the rubbing against your legs and the purring, this is evidence of an immense relief. Your cat is essentially saying, "Finally, the world is back to normal. My primary resource has returned." By rubbing against you, they aren't just being affectionate. They are remarking you. You've come home smelling like the outside world, like strangers in traffic. Your cat needs to put the home scent back on you so you're safe again. If they become especially talkative when you get back, consider it a daily briefing. "A fly got in, I napped in the sun, the bowl is half empty. This is unacceptable." This ritual confirms that in their kingdom, all is right once more. There is, however, a very important nuance. Solitude only becomes a problem when the space around the cat becomes empty, not of people, but of meaning. If a cat has nothing to do, they simply wait. And waiting for a long time is exhausting, even for a patient predator. This is where we have the power to turn those hours of waiting into a daily adventure. Have you ever heard of cat TV? It's just a window with a comfortable perch where birds fly by or branches sway. To a cat, this is a gripping thriller they can watch for hours. If you add a few puzzle feeders that drop a treat when batted the right way, or leave a crinkly tunnel in the hallway, your cat's day becomes full of events. The key is a stable schedule. Feed and play at the same time every day, and your cat will likely sleep through the afternoon, knowing that the evening show featuring you starts exactly on time. Now let's address the most popular solution to perceived loneliness. Common sense often whispers, if Bella is bored, she needs a friend. They'll sleep in a pile, groom each other, and keep each other busy while we're at work. In an ideal world, that's exactly how it goes. But reality is a bit more complex. A second pet is a wonderful idea if you have a young, high-energy kitten who has nowhere to put that extra drive. Together, they'll direct their zoomies toward each other rather than your curtains. It's even better if they're littermates. They already have a secret language and shared rules of play. In this scenario, cats really won't be lonely, and you get a double dose of purrs. However, there are times when a second cat is a risky move that will require heroic effort from you. Imagine you have a senior cat who is used to silence and their favorite soft blanket. Suddenly, you bring home a hyperactive fur missile. For a veteran of the feline wars, this isn't a friend. It's a natural disaster. It's a level of stress that can actually lead to health issues. The same goes for introvert cats. Some personalities view their home as a private, sacred territory. For them, a newcomer isn't a playmate, it's an invader. And remember, 2 cats mean twice the fur, twice the vet bills, and most importantly, the need to divide your attention perfectly so no one feels slighted. Take my own group as an example. We have Kuzi and Bagheera. They're the same age, have similar temperaments, and they are truly inseparable. They sleep with their tails intertwined and hunt sunbeams together. For them, company is a blessing. Then there's Alice. Alice is the definition of zen. She likes company, but only at a paw's length. She doesn't need a sparring partner, she needs her space to be respected. This is the perfect example that there is no one-size-fits-all answer. Cats are individuals. One might only need you and a soft sofa, while another truly craves a partner in crime. If you've firmly decided that your home needs another set of paws, remember the golden rule. A proper introduction is 90% of the success. Never just throw 2 strange cats into a room and let them figure it out. That is a recipe for a lifelong feud. The process should be slow and deliberate. First, introduce them through scent. Swap their bedding so they get used to each other's perfume. Next, let them see each other through a cracked door, and only then move to short, supervised meetings. This can take a week or it can take a month, but this investment of time pays off in years of peace. But what if you realize a second cat isn't the right move for you? Don't worry. You are the best cure for your cat's boredom. Just 15 minutes of intense play with a feather wand before you leave, and 15 minutes when you get back can work wonders. Cats are sprinters. They don't need marathons, they need short bursts of adrenaline. And don't forget about vertical space. Wall shelves and tall cat trees are cat highways that allow them to fulfill their natural instincts as explorers and climbers. Even in the smallest apartment, you can create a multi-level world where your cat feels like royalty. In closing our little chat, I want to ask one thing of you. Listen to your cat. They are the ultimate experts on their own well-being. Watch their behavior, see how they react to changes. Your mission isn't to project human ideas of loneliness onto them, but to create an environment where they feel safe and enriched. For one cat, your return in the evening is enough. For another, they might truly benefit from a furry companion. I hope today you've come to understand your favorite feline just a little bit better. After all, our happiness as owners depends entirely on the contentment of those who meet us at the door. May your home always be cozy, and may your cats be healthy and calm, even when you briefly step out of their kingdom. Thank you for staying with me until the end. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. How does your cat handle being alone? Do they wait by the door, or do you find them fast asleep? Your stories are always the best part of this channel. Don't forget to subscribe and give this a like if you enjoyed our time together. Take care of yourselves and your furry friends. I'll see you in the next one.